Hey guys, and welcome back to the CardLife YouTube channel. I'm Rich, the lead designer of CardLife, and today I wanted to give you a sneak preview of our next update, which introduces caverns into the game world, and to answer a few commonly asked questions that we get regarding the game. So I'm going to go through and answer a list of questions while I explore our new world, but please bear in mind this is a heavily work in progress build, and you're going to see half implemented features such as our pickup system, where you'll see small cardboard boxes being dropped as I dig through the world, and also the caverns themselves are still heavily work in progress. At the moment they're huge large expanses which will definitely be smaller on launch. Okay, let's answer some questions. First up, the big one. What is this game and what are your plans? Our plan for CardLife has always been and still remains to make a truly exciting and engaging online fantasy survival game set in a unique cardboard world. Now that's a very broad statement, so let's talk a bit about the vision for the game. But please remember guys that this is the very beginning, so things can and most definitely will change. So we want the core experience to be centered around online multiplayer, which will most likely include PvE and PvP, but we definitely want to allow players to play in a single player mode. And obviously we are planning for the game to be a survival game, so there's most likely going to be survival mechanics such as eating and drinking. Although specifically what survival mechanics are still up for discussion. Now we'd also like to have some form of building to allow people to make really cool creations, including bases and other things like customized creature companions and equipment. Although we're pretty sure at the moment that the last two things will be done differently in game, and there's a whole another video of content there, so that's definitely one for the future. Regarding the setting for the game, I've already mentioned fantasy, and we think that there's a lot of scope there, especially when you think that fantasy can range from medieval fantasy, sword and shield, bow and arrows, that kind of thing, all the way to sci-fi fantasy with things like plasma swords and energy rifles. And when you throw magic into the mix, this gives us a lot of variety and range across all aspects of the gameplay, from weapons to creatures to gear and vehicles that you use to navigate the world. Which leads me nicely onto the world. We want it to be a large varied landscape that has different ecosystems and biomes to explore. Think Arctic tundras, forests, mountains, oceans, etc. with unique creatures and resources that you can use to make new stuff. And obviously we're planning on it being procedurally generated and fully editable, so you can dig and mine like the demos that are released right now. So that's a lot to do, but our aim is to keep releasing constant updates, getting feedback and building the game with you guys. Okay, next question. Is this a full game or a demo? At the moment we're at the very beginning of the development, and what we have released is a small tech demo with a few small objectives so we can gather feedback as we make the game. But as we add more content it will eventually turn into the game. Next one, will CardLife be free? Currently it is free to download, but the plan is that eventually you will have to pay an upfront charge. But when we do that, we will probably keep sporting the free one so that you can play that one, but it obviously won't be updated. And we also do plan on offering early adopters the chance to buy the game at a heavily discounted price, which will give them access to all the updates as we make them. Is CardLife going to be on Steam? Hopefully yes, eventually that's the plan, but we're a long way from that. Is the game going to be multiplayer? As I mentioned before, we want the core experience to be an online multiplayer game that you can play by joining one of the persistent official servers that we offer, and we will most likely offer both PvP and PvE only servers. We also hope to support hosted custom servers where you can set the world rules, and as I mentioned you can play the game single player if you want to. Now I get this question a lot. Will we be updating the game? Most definitely. We'll be constantly updating the game via the launcher as we develop it, but some of the updates will take longer to make than others. But hopefully in the near future we will be going to a more regular update schedule. Next one, can I customize my character? The plan is for you to be able to customize your character with the gear and equipment that you craft, but in CardLife this is more than it sounds, as we're planning to offer a very unique crafting system that allows you to fully customize what your equipment looks like and paint over it, but I will talk more about that in a future video. And finally, when's the next update? Hopefully soon. We're working as fast as we can to get the content out there. Okay, I think that covers most of the most common questions that we get, so I hope you've enjoyed this video and it gives you a better idea of what our vision is for the game. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you want to see more videos like this, please like the video and subscribe. Also, if you haven't tried CardLife yet, you can download it for free over at cardlifegame.com, where I've just released the first dev blog discussing our world in more detail. So I hope you have a nice day. Cheers.